Okay. So in yesterday's lecture, we discussed about what is a C sharp and how it works. Now today we're going to discuss more about C sharp. So basically, we are discussing in this lecture how C sharp works. So see, Visual C sharp projects, we have C sharp source files, resources and references. Then it is compiled by your C sharp compilers. Then it contains or creates a managed assembly that either it generates a exe file, that is portable executable file, or DLL. DLL stands for dynamic linking libraries. I repeat, DLL stands for dynamic linking libraries, DLL, and exe stands for executable file. So along with this, we have MSIL metadata. Now what is an MSIL? Basically, we already discussed this in first lecture of AWB. MSIL stands for, I'm expecting answer from your side. What is an MSIL? What is an MSIL? MSIL stands for MSIL stands for MSIL stands for Microsoft Intermediate Language. MSIL stands for Microsoft Intermediate Language. Very good. Wow. After giving an answer, that person typed in chat box. Very good. So IL is intermediate language. Metadata. What is the metadata? A data about data is known as metadata. Basically, when one data tells more about your data, other data, that is known as metadata. So basically, intermediate language metadata and references loaded by CLR. What is CLR? CLR was your common language runtime. Common language runtime. Then it is loaded into .NET framework by using this CLR security. Then your garbage collection. Then we had already discussed about JIT compiler. Then it is using .NET framework class libraries. This was base class libraries we are using. Then it is converted into a native machine code. Then your operating system gets that output from this Visual C Sharp project. So take a screenshot of this. So you will rarely find this working of C Sharp in these books also. So take a screenshot of this. Done. Just raise your hand. So don't waste your time in writing all the things. Just take a screenshot. Do smart work. Okay. Now C++ C Sharp file structure is simple. Just have a quick look of this. Here they are using Visual Studio 2013 project console application. So they are generating this much files: bin, binary input, object, properties, app is generated. This is your console application, Visual C Sharp, and then program CS, program.cs, then program.cs. Done. Console application program.cs. Any problem till here? Now introduction to C Sharp. We're just starting with programs. So using system namespace you're using. This is a syntax. Namespace is common, you have to write. Then hello world application is the name of my namespace. I'm just selecting this hello world application. Class hello world. Static void main is a main method you have to write that you were writing in your Java. But here, note one thing, M is capital while writing main. Then string we have taken as an data type, but S is small. So note the changes. So console.writeLine in Java we are using system.out.println or scanner for scanning. Here we are using console.writeLine, hello world, and then we have console.read key. So there is another method of console class which is known as readline. Console class which is known as readline. Which is known as readline. Console. Just typing text. Console dot read line. This is a method of your console class. Done. It was extra method. Again back to this screen. So basically, uh, here they are given Java program, not an issue. So basically, it is also converted into CS file. So instead of writing C sharp, they have written Java. Never mind. So running your first program. So Visual Studio is not installed here. So I'll try to get installed that Visual Studio in upcoming lectures. So you can perform practicals also. So anatomy of a C sharp application, which is very important. Take a screenshot of this, please. Is it visible in one go? सबको दिख रहा है properly? दिसतंय सगळ्यांना व्यवस्थित? With these comments and arrows, just raise your hand. Just raise your hand, please. Hello. Okay. My voice is clear to everyone. Is it reaching? Okay, okay. Not an issue. So take a note of this. What we are using here is class name. Hello, what is your class name? How to write these comments in C sharp? We already discussed. We already discussed with this in yesterday's lecture. This is a multi-line comment. Then function or static method. Main method has to be static because you cannot change its course of execution throughout the program. It has to be static. Then this is your access modifiers. You can include. Remember one thing, you are not allowed to write public in many programs in front of this main methods. Then comment is there, function or static method is there. Then it is your class and this is your arguments. Likewise, you are using in Java program. Then we have language features, built-in type it supports, systems, flow control, parsing. So this is integer.parseInt and double.parseDouble that you have already used in Java for parsing. Why we have to use parse? Basically, whatever your interpreter or compiler accept, it accept as an character. It accept as an character. So out of that scratch, we have to convert that values into some integer or double or floating values. Done. So take a screenshot of this. If possible, built-in types are there, flows, arrays, objects and all that. Not an issue. Done. Now, built-in data types are there. We already discussed with this. Again, we are discussing character is there, set of values char, literal values are. Either you can take any of these literals or operation you can compare string, sequence of characters, concatenate integers, double, boolean. Boolean produces two values. In C sharp, we are using bool, B-double-O-L instead of boolean. Basic definitions are there. Variable, a name that refers to a value. Note it down, please. A name that refers to a value. Variable is always holding a value. Assignment statement associates a value with a variable. Here we are using your assignment operator. Here we are using your assignment operator. See, A is your variable name. Your declaration statement int a comma b. 1, 2, 3 for your literal values of that variable. Then we have assignment statement b equal to 99 and combined declaration of an assigned statement. Not an issue. Done. Any problem? Note it down. Just note it down. Then we have string data type. Values is your string sequence of characters. Done. Okay. Sequence of characters. Typically, literals can be either you can write characters or you can simply include digits. But remember, when you are taking string data type, whatever you type or whatever you code, it has to be in double quote. Done. Operation concatenation, operation plus you can do. So this string data type you can use. Remember one thing, when you take this double quote, like in Python also, 1, 2, 3, 4, it is treated as string. It is treated as string. So you are not going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 99 and it's their addition, because here they have taken this 1 2 3 4 and this 99 as a string or a character instead of your number. When you have to take a number or integer, you have to take this without your double quote, without this double quote. Done. Then string data types can be done. These are your white spaces. White spaces can be considered as active white spaces or passive white spaces, leading or trailing. Whenever you type, whenever you put an extra space after writing some statement for characters or for your alphabets or your integers, if you remember, if you see, I am selecting here, this is your space. Wait. This is your space just before plus sign and after plus sign, this is known as white space. So this can be removed by using trim operation, trim, R trim, L trim, trim operation. Then we have string data types. Plus is used for concatenation, as you all know. So you can see this, by using this plus, they are just concatenated. It is not added. But if you take 1 2 3 4 without the double quote, without double quote, and this 99 without double quote, then addition will be there. So this plus has a different meaning for arithmetic operation and for string operation. For string operation, it is treated as concatenation operation. Then we have command line arguments. So basically, one program is there. We are discussing namespace console application, class program, static main, string args, string x as a variable name, console.writeLine. WriteLine method is there. Enter your name. So it prompts the user to write your name. Then x equal to console.readLine. So that value or input will be read from readLine. Then system.console.writeLine. How are you? And console.readKey. Done. This is an answer program you can try. We'll be dealing with this program later part. Then we have integer data type. You can take values in between integers. Operators are there: add, subtract, multiply, divide, remainder. Then we have integer data types. Double data type is there. Double and float has same property or same features, but double is having double size of float. Then we have C# math library. Note it down fast. Take a screenshot of this. It includes math.sine, cos, log, exp stands for exponential, sqrt is for square root, po is for power. Notice the difference in between exponential and power. Can anyone just type in chat box? Exponential and power. Exponential and power. I'm expecting answer from your side. Exp and power. Exponential and power. Exponential and power. Just type in please. Difference between exponential and power. Hello. Just wait, someone has typed something. Power is raised to a number, very good. And what about your exponential? What about your exponential? Exponent. Very good. So what is the difference in between exponential and power? Returns the value of e. Very good. It's the main difference. In power, you don't have a power of e. So simply it is power of that can be applied to a number. Then we have mean, minimum value of max. Then we have ABS. What is an absolute value? This is a very common question. Absolute value of any number. Just type in please. I know you are not able to talk a single word, but it has to be an interactive session. What is an absolute value? ABS value. What is that? ABS value. Absolute value of any number. Very good. Distance from origin, non-negative value, or a zero. It's not zero value. It's an absolute value. When I have to take absolute value of this minus 25. It has to be 25. It's a positive value. Done. Pi, hands-on exercises there. Integer operations you can perform. So many integer operations performed here. Boolean data type, it produces two values, either true or false. Operations and or and not, and or and not. So double ampersand or and not. Truth table is there. If A is true, true. Not false, true. Done. Then Boolean comparison can be there. Note it down. This is very important thing. Operation double equals to means equals. 2 equal to 2 means 2. When it is false, 2 equal to 3. It is a false statement. Not equals to 3 is not equal to 2. It is true. 2 is not equal to 2. It is false. Less than, greater than. Note it down. Take a screenshot of that. I have to also take a screenshot for attendance purpose. Type conversion. This is very important concept. We already discussed in yesterday's lecture, but little bit. So type conversion, convert from one type to another type. So type conversion can be done either implicit with no loss of precision. What is the precision value? With strings, you can perform implicit conversion. Precision means ranging of that values. Then explicit, either you can cast or you can use method. Now type conversion example you can see. See, here I have an expression 1, 2, 3, 4. What is type? Type क्या है इसका 1, 2, 3, 4 का data type क्या है? Just type in chat box. Is it visible though? Wait, let me increase this font. What is the type of this 1, 2, 3, 4? Wrong. It's not an integer. Observe carefully. Very good. String. Very good. String. Why it is string? Why it is string? Because it is enclosed within this double quotes. Done? Very good. Now, expression types. Expression types are your string. Expression values. Whatever you are joining or typecasting here, 99 is taken as, what is the data type of type 99? What is the 99 here? What is the value or data type? Very good, integer. So when you concatenate a string with integer, it simply returns concatenation of string, nothing else. This is your type conversion. Then you have to parse that thing. Then how it is parsed? Int dot parse 1, 2, 3. Then expression value will be your integer value. If I take int 2.71828, what is an integer? Then this precision will be dropped. Remember, whatever you take while applying int, that floating precision will be dropped either from left side or right side. So it will take a complete integer value of this. Math.round. Rounding is simple. So if value is greater than 5, it will be rounded to a right side. So here rounded to 3. Is it okay? The basic concept we have already applied this in Python itself. So you can take int. So double is simple. Suppose I want to multiply 11 into 0.3. So basically 11 into 3 is your 33. But here we are multiplying 11 with 0.3. So it will return 3.3. Done. When we convert this int double value into integer, it's still 3.3. But this is an explicit conversion. 11 into int 0.3. So whenever you are taking 0.3 as an integer, so it will be 0, and 0 into 11 it will be 0. Okay, any problem? If you apply integer to this 11 into 0.3, so what is its value? 3.3. If you take int, it will accept only 3. This fraction part is discarded. Done. There is a program called leap year. What is a leap year basically? What is a leap year? Leap year, please. Now data type summary is a very important thing. A data type is a set of values and operations. Those values, string for text processing, double int for mathematical calculation, and boolean for decision making. Take a screenshot of this, please. This is very important. You are learning these data types ever since first year, but still many of you not able to recollect their uses. So string is for text processing, double and int for mathematical calculations, and boolean for your decision making. Boolean for your decision making. Done. Note it down fast. Conditional and loops is a very important thing. Conditional statements or looping statements are mainly used for flow control. So I am going to share a new screen. This is already done yesterday. If statement is clear, if statement, switch statement. Again, for simplicity purpose, we are referring this to. The sequence is simple. Statement 1, 2, 3, 4. So either you have to select whether first condition is true, then it will be evaluated. If it is false, we have to look for a statement 2. Then in condition, we have if statement is a common branching structure, evaluates a Boolean expression. If true, execute some statement. If false, execute other statement. So last 10 minutes remaining. So for 5 minutes, I'll be taking your doubts from your side. Last 5 minutes. If false, it execute other statements. If Boolean expression is true, then it can be sequence of statement, or else statement F will be executed. So it is a flowchart given here. If statement, if math square root of 16. What is the square root of 16? Square root of 16. Hello, type in square root of 16. Square root of 16, I am asking you, it is very, very good. 4. Whether 4 is greater than 3 or less than 3? Less than or greater than 3? 4 is great or 3? 4 बड़ा है कि 3? 4 बराबर है, बराबर ना? So if executes, then the number is less than 3. ये execute होगा क्या? Which statement will be evaluated first? This or this? See, here number is greater than 3. Here number is greater than 3. So this second statement will be executed and evaluated, because 4 is anytime greater than your 3. Done. Then more if statement you can put for your example purpose. While loop is very simple. While works with several conditions. If you are not satisfying that condition, that then next statement will not be evaluated. So evaluate the Boolean expression while I is greater than or equal to 5. So it will evaluate true unless and until I gets to equal to 5. Then we have for loop. It also evaluates true. But note down, structure of for loop. Basically it starts with initialization, Boolean expression, and then increment part, which is similar to your other programming languages for loop. Note it down. Initialization, Boolean expression, increment, statement 1 and statement 2. Anatomy of for loop is given. Here they have taken for int I equal to 0 till I is less than 5, I plus plus. So we are printing value of I started with 0 till I gets to 5 from 1. So output will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. The power of 2 is very simple. We have already discussed power. Difference between power and exponential. Power is value to that number. Control flow, you can use straight line programs, conditionals or loops. So this arrays will be discussing in next lecture or so. So I am sharing a new screen again. I have to discuss a loop, new loop. That is your for each loop. Note it down. C# also provides a for each loop that allows you to loop through items in a set of data. When you have to iterate over a sequence of data, is it visible though? For each loop that allows you to loop through the items in a set of data. When we have to iterate within the set of data, then we have to use for each loop. Now, what is the difference between for loop and for each loop? For loop, we are just generalizing that statements, but for each loop, we are iterating over a set of data. Remember that thing. Basically, for each loop is used with your arrays, or it is useful for traversing in the data collection and arrays. Note it down. For each loop. What is the purpose of for each loop? Note it down. For each loop for particularly useful for traversing data in collection and arrays. So for loop can be used with anything, but for each loop is used with your arrays and traversal.